welcome back to Teaching Them. I'm Michael Keats, and I have a lesson for you today. It's a game, and it's called Tool, Test, or Territory. Tool, Test, or Territory. And we're going to play it with a pyramid. And the pyramid has on one side, it says Tool, another side Test, another side Territory, and then on the fourth side, more than one reason. So the reason it is set up that way is because we're going to talk about the story of Joseph in Genesis 37 to 50. And in that story, a lot of things happened to Joseph. And you might be wondering, why is God allowing all these things? Well, so what I'd like to propose is that everything that God allows to happen in our lives and in Joseph's life was a tool, a test, or territory. So if it's a tool, that means that God is using that to shape us to be more like Jesus. So it's a way that he's forming our character, he's building our skills and our knowledge, and making us more effective for his kingdom. If it is a test, it's like holding up a mirror to the person, because God already knows the quality of their heart, but a test can reveal to the individual, this is how far you've come. This is where you have progressed to this point. So a test is to reveal to Joseph the character of his heart. And then territory means God is giving them something new to step into this new territory, more responsibility so that I can use you in bigger ways. I've come up with 15, there's a sheet here, 15 experiences that Joseph had. And what you would do is each kid would get their own pyramid, and you'd explain to them tool, test, territory, and then you would read them an experience. You'd say, God gave Joseph dreams to show him that he would one day rule over his brothers and his parents. Okay, so was that tool, test, or territory? Now, whether they get the right answer or not the right answer, I've recommended some answers on here. That's not really the main point. The main point is to get them to think about how God is always at work in a person's life. They come back to you and they say, that was a test. Gave him the dream, and he was testing him to see, is he going to be kind of a snotty kid and go to his parents and his brothers and go, nah, 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 you're going to worship me. That could be true. That might be the right answer. But maybe it was territory, and he was saying to him, hey, I want to give you a vision for where you're going to go in the future. I'm going to plant this seed in your heart so that you know. Now, it could be more than one, so they also have the more than one reason part of the pyramid. So have them show to you, here's what I'm voting on this, and then talk about it. Well, why did you answer test? And let them tell you. And then you can give your own perspectives as well. But the dialogue is actually where the value comes from. So let me read a couple others here. There's one here that says, his brothers hated Joseph, and they made fun of him. Was that a tool, a test, or a territory? Well, in this case, I would say probably more like a tool. That was something when you have to live in a difficult situation, it forms your character. But there could be other ways to look at that. So here's one. Joseph worked as a slave in Potiphar's house. Was that tool, test, or territory? I'm going to say maybe all three. So I think it was a tool because it shaped Joseph and formed his character while he was learning how to serve responsibly, even for maybe what you consider to be a bad boss, but it really formed him. Also, it formed his skills so that he could one day lead in Pharaoh's court. And then was it a test? Yeah, it was absolutely a test. As he was there in that, would he humble himself to serve under Potiphar's house, especially when he's being mistreated by Potiphar's wife? And then was it new territory? Yeah, because he was a slave, and then he got into the house of the captain of the guard. That's a promotion. And then eventually the captain of the guard saw that God's favor was on Joseph, and so he promoted him even to a higher level. So this is a fun way just to kind of think about when stuff happens to us, particularly when hard stuff happens to us, how is God using it? Why is he allowing it to happen? Is it a tool? Is it a test? Is it new territory that God wants us to take? So if you want to print this lesson, you can go to teachingthem.org. You'll find the pattern for the pyramid. You'll find the 15 scenarios or experiences that Joseph had. And I hope you'll try this out with the kids and have a good time with it. Leave me some comments. Let me know how it goes. God bless you. See you next time.